Many of the things that I was taking for granted, they were actually under threat.
The current landscape for funding open source is pretty broken.
Almost no one talked about giving back.
It's this vast global network. The final product is incredibly valuable. It drives a large part of the economy. 70 to 90% of the code that is used to power the modern economy relies on open source software.
We use a lot of JavaScript, we use a lot of Python libraries. I didn't realize how much code there is.
Every time that a piece of code runs, there are a bunch of different open source dependencies that are required for this thing to happen.
The amount of funding that goes towards open source is a pittance, probably below $1 billion a year with minimal or no strings attached.
How do you make sure that these public goods infrastructure is constantly funded?
Funding for open source, it kind of lives in two different buckets. Philanthropy, or when there is some kind of a crisis. We'd like companies to start taking this seriously. Many of these things resemble popularity contests, and they aren't very good at discerning the true impact.
It's meant to be built as a community. We've been very deliberate about building with people all across the world.
The last thing most developers want to do is hold out the tip jar. They want to ship stuff.
We all exist because we're a community of people that are helping each other, growing together.
Ideally, there's a way for people to work on open source full-time and receive funding from that continuously.
As a species, I think we are interdependent, and it's important that we recognize our interdependence and protect it.
At the same time, companies should be building this into their cost of doing business. There should be ways of funding their networks sustainably. We need to make it much more seamless for them.
That's the core idea behind continuous dependency funding. We effectively creating a tree where capital flows through.
For developers, if you extend it long enough and you kind of know it's coming, you can start planning that vacation. You can start treating it almost as a paycheck.
Companies should be building this into their cost of doing business. There should be ways of funding their networks sustainably. The benefits of funding a network of open source contributors can actually out-innovate, can out-compete, can outgrow a more traditional process.
You're using the thing. I don't need to argue with you that you're getting value. If you weren't getting value out of it, you wouldn't be using it today.
The ability for developers, whether as teams or individuals, to not only survive, but to thrive by creating software that millions and eventually billions of people are using. That process should be consistent, transparent, and they should have confidence in it so it becomes a credible alternative to other forms of employment.